So the Better Social Housing Review identified that there are three essential elements to housing providers being able to deliver their core purpose of providing decent and safe homes. These three elements are tenants, stock and staff. So we're speaking to some of our colleagues at Progress Housing Group about their careers in housing, the highs, the lows, the career progression they've experienced, all with the aim of promoting the role as a valued and supported career opportunity. So hi Tola.
Hi.
Earlier on in your career, you were a housing officer. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got into the sector?
Yes, I can. At the time, it was in the late 1990s. I was living in a local authority flat with two young children and no heating. I felt that I was treated quite indifferently as a tenant by the local authority. Anyway, one day I got a knock on the door and there was a young woman at the door and she introduced herself as Lisa, and she was the new housing officer for the area. And I was really impressed by that because nobody from the housing had ever sort of knocked on and introduced themselves before. So she was really engaging. She really helped me over the next few months, and eventually she helped me move to a house with heating and with my partner and children. Meeting her and listening to her really sort of spurred me on to want to work in housing. So from that point on, I went to college, did a degree. I specialised in housing, and a few weeks after I graduated, I got a role as a housing officer, which was one of the best days of my life. And it all took off from there, really.
So when you did start your career in housing, what did you most enjoy about the role?
I think it was the variety of the role, and no 2 days are the same, and the days pass really quickly. I really liked helping people and working with people and helping them get settled into new homes. I was working with quite a lot of asylum seekers, people experiencing domestic abuse, and it was really nice to be able to work with them, settle them into the new properties and see them flourish. I also enjoyed partnership working, and working in the patch that I was working in really heightened my awareness of some of the really difficult challenges that people face in their day-to-day lives.
So Tola, what training and qualification opportunities did you experience which supported you in your career development?
I've been really lucky. From day one as a housing officer, the role was designated as a training post. So literally I started in post on the 9th of September, and the following week I enrolled onto a postgraduate diploma in housing, and that really helped with a lot of the theory around housing policy and practice, sort of supplementing that with the operational experience I was getting.
So at Progress Housing Group, the role of our housing officers, so those of our colleagues who interact with tenants on a daily basis and liaise with them about their properties, is imperative to achieving our vision of ensuring that everyone has a place to call home and the opportunity to live their best lives. So what would you say are the main responsibilities of the housing officer role?
I would think that the main ones are around tenancy management and area management, some management of the locality. A big factor is accessing support for people, and also engaging with the community, and also ensuring that we've got smooth start and end of tenancy processes. And I think dealing with property condition is a big factor as well, and sort of the lack of resources that are available for people, so trying to help people navigate that.
Would you say that they're some of the challenges that people in our housing officer roles are looking like they might be facing?
Yeah, as well as, I suppose, managing priorities. It's a really busy workload. It's very unpredictable workload. You can think you're going to come in one day and do 4 tasks, but you might get a call that means you're at a property for the full day, dealing with whatever arises. So it's unpredictable. I think other challenges are accessing support for people. It's quite hard, particularly around mental health. We try and access support for people early before something becomes a major problem, but that doesn't sit with how things work within local authorities. So it's difficult, and dealing with and managing challenging behaviour and supporting people to deal with that. And finally, I'd say managing expectations of colleagues and of tenants.
And what would you say are the opportunities for people looking to get into a housing officer role?
The role is very varied, so it's really quite interesting. And a housing officer learns lots of different things about housing, be it legislation, budgets, allocations, managing tenancies, exchanges, navigating the sort of mental health and other support. So there's lots of opportunities there. It's a really good grounding for sort of different roles within housing, really, because you get to learn a bit of everything.
So a key recommendation in the Better Social Housing Review report is to promote the housing officer role and to invest in continuing professional development for people in these roles. So how do you think that we can support our colleagues more so that we can continue to improve our services to our tenants?
To promote the work they do is really important, and case studies are really good. So I think promoting the work they do. At Progress, there's lots of opportunities for people to sort of go out on the estates and on schemes and see the work they do and get involved, and I think that's important as well. I think training is really important, so making sure that we've got the right training opportunities so that people can keep up to date. Effective processes are key. I think day-to-day sort of support, encouragement, coaching, mentoring is always a good one, but then regular one-to-one support, ensuring they've got an awareness of budgets and the tools that are available to enable them to do the job, and to know that they're supported, really, and that we appreciate the work, because it is important that you do feel appreciated, and just simple things like saying thank you.
So Tola, what would you tell anyone looking to move into a role in the sector in general or into a housing officer role in particular?
I would say housing in general can be a really rewarding career, and people tend to stay in housing for quite a long time. So I would say, by all means, give it a go, or speak to people that work in housing. There's so many different roles you can do, so it never gets boring, and you get the opportunity to make a difference, and to truly make a difference, particularly in those sort of front-facing roles like the housing officer, and that can impact on people's lives positively. So yeah, I'd say give it a go.
And what would you recommend about working for Progress Housing Group?
The people are great. It's a really great company to work for. There's a very sort of open learning culture, which is really important. It's very positive, and it's definitely a sort of a culture-led organisation, which is refreshing.